You guys online might have to say got it or something.
Where's the camera?
Here, facing up.
Where's the camera at?
Would you look at that? It is 12:15-ish. It looks like we've got internet, so we've got folks online, which you can see. Look at the lovely people. Wave, lovely people. Look at that. We got cameras everywhere, so be careful. We got microphones everywhere, so be careful. You never know. And Glenn.
Yes.
Would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I will. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Steve Lamp. Look, Steve Lamp's here, everybody. I'm not sure if you remember, but this is the four-way pact of the way I interact with
others. First,
I'll have the courage to tell the truth. I'll be kind in the way I tell it. I'll be fair and not see selfish advantage. I'll have an open heart and an open mind. And Jack Lucas, if you can come forward, give us an invocation.
We can bow our heads. Dear God, we give thanks for this day and for the guests that are with us. We ask a blessing on the Rotarians here and around the world and the projects that they're involved with. Bless this food and this meeting to our youth. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Very good. Please take your seats.
Yeah. How are you doing? Good. Good to see you. That looks like a little more.
We're going right up here.
Cut right up here with us. We don't want to get rid of that.
So that is
Right. Okay, that's yours. Oh, I was going to try this last night. I had some more cake. I made right down here, and I got 3 more cups. Good job. So you'll do one after you take it.
Well, they haven't brought out the salads just yet, so I'm going to begin our formal part of our meeting here. We got guests here today. We've got a great speaker that'll get us on our toes, among other things. Of course, the Happy Dollars announcements. The man that convinced me that Fun and Frolic was an art form is doing our Fun and Frolic today. We've, of course, got the Queen of Diamonds, and we'll be ending just right on time. So let's welcome guests. All Rotarians, all Rotarians, all Rotarians, all Rotarians. But in that back corner, Michael Erickson, the godfather of Rotary, would you introduce our guest.
We have our speaker today, a personal trainer, Leah Seidel.
That's right, our speaker is our guest today. Oh. Where is Bill Kelly? Come on up here. We've got a big announcement.
Good morning, good afternoon, fellow Rotary. That's going to cost me now. Great announcement. We have an honorary chair for our classic. The Honorable Dr. Avis Proctor, the president of Harper College, has graciously agreed to serve as our honorary chair. So that's great news, and be joining the
Natalie Martinez.
Natalie Martinez is going to be our host. So great news. Thank you.
So what's great about that, we had a discussion today with her and her staff, is the full public relations of Harper College will be promoting this as well. So our public relations and our public image, as well as Harper Colleges, should get us some very nice mentions everywhere. So great stuff. Thank you. Just some foundation stuff of the week. What makes a successful global grant application? This is just stuff that I get every week, and I thought I'd share with you guys. But there's all kinds of different ways to work with the Rotary International and the foundation. And if there's something that comes up and you've got an idea and you're not sure where to go, don't call the A-team, because I felt like I was doing the A-team beginning. You can come to us and we can see if it's something with the Rotary Foundation internationally. And we've got some folks here that we've got the godfather of Rotary, the godmother. Nah, but Pat was with International for quite some time and is our go-to for where do we find this? And she either knows it off the top of her head or she bakes it really, really good. But eventually we get there. So we did have an extension of the multi-club grants to January 25th. So there's some grants that we're working with other clubs on, and it got extended. So there you go. We can also put ourselves up on the Rotary Showcase of all of the different projects and pages that are out there, and our public image person, Pat, who also just happens to be in my line of sight, so she's going to be very popular today. So if you want to look for collaboration partners and things like that, there are links that you can use. Our January fellowship is this Sunday. Let's see, 1:30, catch the bus at Chandler's. So there's the answer to the big question that, of course, many of you already knew. 3 o'clock, the show begins, and you'll be back here at 7 p.m. for dinner at Chandler's. Happy dollars. Who's happy today? All right, Bill Kelly. Let's hear from Bill Kelly.
Well, I have $5 happy for two things. One, because Dr. Proctor graciously agreed to serve as our honorary chair. And two, because we have an outstanding international service committee for our club here. And I'm sitting with 3 of the 4 members, the newer members, Gene Walters, Tim Coagan, and the person who's going to be chairing the International Service Committee next year, Linda Dresden.
Ooh, very nice.
Good job. So if anyone is ever looking for a service opportunity, we're going to be reconvening right after the grant.
Very cool. Thank you. It was happy dollars, by the way, not an announcement. You better have your wallet out for later. No one's happy today? Are you kidding me? We have no shiny, happy people holding hands? All right, Gary, come on, help me out here. I'm struggling. I'm dying.
So my youngest, who I rarely speak about, Avery, never played volleyball a day in her life. Tried out for Eisenhower, made first cut, was all worried, so we went to a gym and worked together. Turns out she's got some natural athletic ability with this and made the team on Wednesday.
Woo! All right. Well, look at that. Now we got Brian. Everyone's happy. We're gonna get happy today. Go ahead, Brian.
$5 happy. I retired my 10-year-old laptop, bought a new one. Okay. And I spent the extra money in Windows Pro to connect to my office, so I truly can be a road warrior anywhere. So I'm leaving for Florida.
All right, very cool. All right, Linda's happy. We're happy. We're all happy.
I have two happy dollars, and well, it's a little torn happiness. My baby turns 21 today, so we'll be taking him out to dinner and buying him, as good parents should, his first legal drink.
There you go. Very cool. Yeah, it did not go unnoticed that you said legal. Who are you again? There we go. Hunting rabbits, and he's happy about it.
I know everybody loves to hear me tell you this, but I'm actually finally leaving to go back to Arizona. Thanks, Dad.
Very good. All right. Yep, exactly. And we got Jim McCullough back there, who's happy, happy, happy.
We have $5 happy. On Christmas Day, we only had our daughter and one of our grandsons with us, which was the other grandson tested positive for COVID.
Oh,
And so this Sunday, we're having our second Christmas. We think everybody's healthy this time.
very good. All right, I will accept all of that as being happy, and we're done. You guys are all good. Anyone else happy? Anybody online happy? You can unmute and say something. No, just eating, looking around, works for me. Cool. Club business and announcements. Jim McCullough, you can do it now here too. Linda, come on up. Anyone else with club announcements? Ted? Go ahead.
So earlier this year, we got a request from a committee that Jack Lucas is on with my stepmom to help transport cancer patients to and from their treatments at Amita due to the pandemic and certain restrictions, particularly during the phrases of shut down their ability for people who don't have the financial means or other family members to get them to and from their appointments. They were having problems. We got a thank you letter. I'm not going to read it all, but I'll just read two lines from it. Many of our patients lack the financial means or family support needed to travel to their appointments and greatly benefit from your kindness. Because of your generous and steadfast support, our physicians, nurses, and associates at Amita Health are able to continue delivering first-rate care to all members of the community, specifically the underserved and vulnerable, and specifically from there, those who are going through cancer treatment. We gave it a restricted donation. It's to only be used for that particular service, and they have set it up that way. So, we'll see.
Everybody, I am up here about the Classic. It is only 2 short months away, right? So it's coming up faster than you know. And Jean and I are in charge of the games, and we would like to do a wine/liquor poll. So we're asking Rotarians from our club to donate a bottle, and I'll just leave it at bottle, but alcoholic beverage, not just one bottle of beer, so that people can take a poll for $20 and randomly get $8 bottle of wine or a $30 bottle of booze. So if you could bring them in, Jean will take them. Thank you.
Hello, football fans. Wanted to announce our club's Super Bowl party. And if you're excited about football, I know that I am. Super Wild Card Weekend this weekend. Sunday, February 13th. We're going to be well past this Omicron thing by then, so please don't be concerned about that or make your plans for you. 5 o'clock, we're going to do catering from Blackwood Barbecue, which is a fabulous local restaurant over here, so we can be supporting local as well. Going to be a great time. Look forward to having you all. I'm going to pass this around to sign up thing. First 30 people are in. So thank you guys.
I have 3 announcements today. The first is that Dom Ray sends his warmest greetings to everybody in the club. He is still struggling with some health issues, wishes so much he could be here with us, but between health and technical challenges, he is not able to join the club meeting, but wants us all to know that he's staying in touch with our communications and very much misses every one of us. So I promised Dom I would pass that along. The second one is related to the ACE grant, our Advancing Community Economics Global Grant. We are going to be monitored. We have a site visit that will be coming up in the next 3 months to do a midterm assessment of the project and to tell us everything we're doing wrong or commend us everything we're doing right. And I will be calling on some club members to be a part of that. And we will most likely have the cadre member who will be our reviewer at a meeting sometime this spring. And the third announcement is a whole lot more fun than this last one. On your table, I left some stacks of brochures. That is the new club promotional brochure that is the end product of some work by the Public Image Committee and your club president and all of that. And it is, we've got lots and lots of them. We tried to keep it undated so that we can use it for more than the next 6 months. Please take a supply of them and use them liberally to spread among your friends, neighbors, family, colleagues, and grab some on the way out. They're on the table over there if you'd like more. Thank you very much.
I'll make this short and sweet. I know we talked about if you do not have a particular piece that you want to donate to the auction for a classic, that we would accept money and that we would take that money and go out and purchase some interesting pieces that should bring in a lot of dough during the auction. So, but today, both John and Marianne Lucas gave me a nice check for $200. And I want to acknowledge that, so it's a nice start. And so if everybody gives me $200 today, do you have a problem with that? Anyway, we thank the Lucases for their generosity. That's it.
A little bit to Pat's comment about Don Ray. Finally, I stopped by Don's house on the way in here this morning to take a birthday balloon, and he'll appear to be in good spirits. So he's smiling and a little bit of joking, so that's good. And now I have a going away present for Daryl Moon as he departs for Arizona. Daryl's contributions to the RI Foundation have topped $3,000, and Daryl is now a Paul Harris +2. So thank you, Daryl. All right. Thank you, Daryl.
Jim, can you do me a favor and explain to our newer members that have not seen this ceremony what you're doing and why?
All Rotarians are encouraged to make donations to the Rotary International Foundation. And when they do so, and their contributions add up to $1,000, the foundation recognizes that donor as what they call a Paul Harris Fellow, named, of course, for the founder of Rotary, Paul Harris. So when you reach that level of $1,000 of giving, you receive a lapel pin. That first lapel pin does not have a stone. But when you give a second $1,000, then you get a lapel pin that has one sapphire in it, and that's referred to as a Paul Harris +1. So your original donation plus one more $1,000. So you'll find people in the room who have up to 5 sapphires in their lapel pin, which represents $6,000 in giving. Or if you see somebody that's got rubies, they go up to 3 rubies, which recognizes $9,000 in giving. After that, you become a major donor, and then it's a whole new ballpark, even different. Nicer lapel things. So, you know, as we voted years ago, that every club member would donate $30 a quarter and be billed under what's labeled Friends of the Foundation. Well, that $30 goes to the RI Foundation. I prepare a report that goes in with the contributions to the foundation, and it gives each person who made that donation credit for the $30 goes to their account. And then I monitor on a monthly basis the total dollars given by each individual. And when somebody reaches the next multiple of $1,000, then they get the next recognition pin. So that's the story. Thank you.
We do have a visitor today. Do you want to speak in front of everybody? No. Come on. You could read.
Oh,
there you go. Oh, if it's not been photographed, it has not been happening. So, welcome.
Taipei, this time I'm charter president. Our Rotary Club have the 20 members now. Yes. So, 3 years ago, I have the new club. I'm very happy to be here with all of you today. So happy God's 100. Okay.
Sure, and we've got one too. We'll grab one.
Exchange for our
Sure,
website.
we've got the banner coming.
Why don't
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. All right, hopefully some of you guys saw that online. Okay, speaking of members, we do have a contest going with the Arlington Heights Club, and they are currently at a net gain of 5. We are at a net gain of 4. So it's time to kick this in gear. Perfect timing for our trifold brochure. Hand this out. We loved the phrase liberally to anybody. Anybody is welcome to visit. Not everybody can join. So here we are. Trifold brochures, like our Facebook page, all that other good stuff. It is time for the Queen of Diamonds. Here we go. Let's see if we can get this rolling. Here. You'll have to take my word for it then. Tick 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 tick.
Nancy Redmond.
Nope, not quite. Come on, I know who it is. Come on, you're not. But Wendy, you are the winner according to this here.
Woohoo!
She is either frozen or we're all frozen.
I did.
Yeah, we're all good. Cool. Go ahead and unmute someone.
I know. What do I have to choose
There
from?
we go.
Pick a number.
Any of the numbers that are on one of those screens there. You see
Gary,
them?
go ahead and pick for me. I can't see.
Okay. Well, you know
And
what?
that's
We'll
gonna be
just
your
do.
favorite number. She said Gary. Yeah.
Oh,
Get the
Gary.
good one, Gary.
All
Come
right.
on, Gary.
Pressure's on.
Can't see it.
I think you're gonna go with 42.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right. I trust you, Gary.
42. We got the expert knifer here.
You don't know.
Big money. Big money.
You think it's going? Hold on. It's falling apart.
The suspense is killing me.
Okay, Rachel. I know I lost my touch. You got this. Well, Brian left me dry and high over there.
Yeah.
High and
well,
dry.
high and dry.
All right, what do we got? Joker, isn't that a winner?
It is a winner. The official rule master happens to be here today. Do you remember what 5% of about, what was it, 1,800?
8,000.
Gary, are you-
Good job. Welcome. And
Gary, I owe you. I'm taking you
and
out.
Don't tell your accountants.
Too late.
And now my sprach. We eat. Enjoy for the.
No, because Ellen takes 30 minutes. It's like scoping out the 143.
Oh, yes.
I didn't open it this week. I would really admit, I went, look, it's from Pat. So I can ignore it. No, and then I went like the next squirrel.
That's not bad.
Yeah, hundreds of emails. That's good. That's good. That's good.
You know what, guys? I'm gonna unplug you and you guys can talk.
Is anybody there? Hello.
Yes, Wendy's here. I'm here.
Hi, Wendy. It's Eileen.
Hi, Eileen. How you doing?
Good. Congratulations.
I know. Thank you. I can't believe it. I definitely need to- huh?
$425.
I know. I'm gonna have to.
Nice job. You're buying.
I owe Gary some drinks. Yeah.
You're buying, baby.
Yeah, that's right. Game on. Wow, that's crazy. I think I did like $15 this week in tickets. So this is a good investment.
That's cool.
As
Well,
it gets
take-
bigger, people seem to buy
Yeah.
more tickets.
Yeah.
So John, are you up here now or are you out of town?
I'm
Oh,
here.
good, good. Me too. I hurt my knee, so I'm kind of like really here.
I'm leaving Thursday for Newport Beach. My son is getting married on January 22nd.
Oh,
So
congratulations.
I'm flying out there on the 20th, and then my daughter Kristen is flying out on the 21st.
I love that area of California.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous county, yep.
Company I was with, we had a hotel in Seal Beach. So I was out there a lot and got to know that, 20 miles up and 20 miles down the coast, and just really found it delightful. And Seal Beach is like this little gem of a place that most people never even heard of.
It's absolutely beautiful. They do a lot of movie filming there.
Yeah, it's very quaint, still has that small town feel. I loved it. But,
My son lived there for 3 years or 2 years, excuse me. He was living in a beach cottage, renting it, those beach cottage homes.
Cool,
And then
yeah.
we'd walk down to the downtown area, which was only a couple blocks, and we'd go down there, and they had a nice ice cream store down there at the end.
Yep, and a great bakery.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Early morning.
To go from the hotel, which was kind of at a couple blocks from the beach, and I'd walk down in the morning and get a bread pudding and a latte. Then I'd go out on the pier, have my breakfast, watch the surfers, and then go back and start my day in the sales office with the team at around 8. So, I never minded going out there in January, February, and March, I'll tell you.
It's absolutely beautiful out there. Well, it's 41 degrees out there today.
A little chilly. My son's in LA, so I kind of keep up with stuff out there. Wendy, are you getting settled into the club okay? Getting your feet on it?
Yeah, it's been good. I'm looking for kind of now that the New Year's here and the holidays are over, and I have like a chance to kind of come up for air, thinking about how to get more involved. So Sarah, I'm going to be responding to that email we had about service.
Oh, is Sarah on the call right now?
She is, yeah.
Yeah, I had my video.
Oh, I didn't know you were here. Hi, hon.
Hi, Eileen.
Yeah, 'cause Sarah and I know all the ins and outs of where we can plug you in and make your time valuable and help the community. So
yeah, thank you. I do appreciate it. I said I was looking to plug in with kids and adolescents and families, so Sarah had some good ideas. So
good.
I'll circle back to you, Sarah.
Sarah, did we, just as a side note, we used to do some work with Fellowship Corporate Housing in Elgin. 3 or 4 years ago, we were working with them. I think they got project selection money from us. And I don't remember who the liaison was, but I think it was someone that left the club, and that kind of got left on the sideboard. But they do a lot with single moms trying to reestablish themselves, moms with kids especially, and they teach them how to manage their money, how to live independently. I don't know if that might be something we want to revisit, because it is, families and kids, and just see if maybe there's something there, because, I know we've got plenty of organizations that we are currently working with, and I just don't know how active you want to be, Wendy, but, Sarah will tell you, we can get you as active as you want to be.
That's what she said. I know, she said that.
But I don't know if did you ever do anything with Fellowship, Sarah? I think not. It was probably 4 years ago before you took over.
Yeah, I don't recall, but I'll find the old spreadsheet and see.
Yeah, they were good. They were good. But,
yeah, we're going to schedule a committee meeting soon, Wendy.
Oh, good.
Figure out schedules right now. So.
Okay, please invite me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Is Mean Jean on the call?
She was, but I think she ran away to go play pickleball. I don't know where she is.
I got to hear the story. She and I have played telephone tag for her to share the details with me, but I can't imagine anybody calling her Mean Jean, but obviously they have.
I would imagine competitively in a sporting situation.
Competitively? Oh yeah.
For sure.
Oh yeah. She's merciless competitively. Are you kidding? Fair.
That's my guess.
Yeah, yeah, there would be no mercy, no quarter given there, that's for sure. But she would play fair, she wouldn't play mean, so again, I don't know where Mean Gene comes from. Who else do we have on the call? Just the four of us? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Hey, Eileen, do we
Yeah.
still have that? Sarah and I were talking about the Children's Advocacy, is that CADC? Is that the Children's Advocacy
CAC,
Center?
Children's Center. Mhm.
Right. Do we have a liaison with them, or are we doing much with them
Yeah,
right now?
I'm the liaison for that
Okay.
organization.
Okay.
And if you want to engage with them, get with me and we'll see how we can split it or set it up for, a team approach. We've got them pretty well covered.
Oh, okay,
between
that's fine.
The
Yeah.
butterfly garden and which is a project I can share with you so you understand what we're doing there. It's one of our most high profile partnerships.
Okay.
Because it's near and dear to the mayor's heart and a lot of other, the police and a lot of other organizations. So
Yep.
I'd like to share with you some of the things we've done. It's very hard to interact. We cannot interact with their clients.
Right, with the kids, right, exactly.
It's what we do otherwise. And one of the big things, of course, is maintaining the butterfly garden so that they have that space to use throughout good weather. And then good example of what we just did is we're sponsoring 4 of their therapists to go for some advanced training that's happening in March.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
They
great.
they didn't have enough funding for everybody. And so Sarah and I got together and looked at our emergency money and decided to use some of that because the therapists need for their certification, this advanced training.
Yep.
And in talking with the director, he's excited that he's going to have the opportunity now to have
We're
all
going
of
to
his.
start the meeting again here, everybody. So if you would mute yourselves, I'm going to plug you in so we can hear you.
Thanks, Eileen.
Talk to you.
All right.
Call Wendy.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, getting you back here. We have now the man that convinced me that fun and frolic is an art form. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Miller. Oh, I need to change things. So what do we change? Still says Jim Fabrini. Jim Fabrini. Okay, well, that'll start us off. Jim Fabrini was the regularly scheduled fine master, and I think he's on his way to Florida. Correct? Somebody? Haven't heard. Wes, you're the closest thing we have to Jim Fabrini here, so that'll be $2. Speaking of Susie, welcome. It's good to see you. It's always good to see you. And I think, I don't know if Tom knows, I know this table was very aware of it, but always the second Friday of the new year is when the president matches Happy Dollars, right? We have the presidential match of Happy Dollars, Tom. So if you could just tally that up for him, Barry, so that he knows what he needs to come up with today. And once again, Susie, welcome. It's good to see you. How many of you were able to have a chance to, and this is, we like to tell the truth here, right? Speaking of Bill, what's with that headset, Bill? Is that? Yeah, I mean, first of all, I don't think I've seen a headset that big in a long time. So you must be hanging out with Brian Bird, which we'll talk about later. But we need you to be present, Bill, okay, with us, and that'll be $2. We love you, Bill. Boy, I was right in the middle of something. Oh, the mailer. You guys get Pat's Wednesday report. Leah, right? It's Leah? Yeah, welcome. We're glad to see you. Are you gonna actually make us stand up and touch our toes and stuff? All right, good. I had the salad and the white fish, okay? And Vince ate my bread, okay. How many of you were able to read Pat's Wednesday? Okay, good. That's about right. If you didn't, that's $1, okay? Pat came up to me and said, Jeff,
only 50% of the club even opens up the email. How do you think Pat felt? So she wants to make sure that if you didn't raise your hand, I think only about 2 people raised their hand. Oh, we're not, oh, hold on, George. Wait a minute. Who's collecting money?
I don't know.
I don't know. So you can collect over there, George. All right. Mike, are you okay to collect or are you right in the middle of something there? Okay, Chris, you're gonna collect? All right, good. Yeah, so everybody remember their fines or should I start over? Because I'm having a good time. I have notes. Yeah. Gary, it seems like every time you talk about your kid, it's some kind of kids, yeah. Every time you talk about your kids, it's, yeah, finally the other kid gets mentioned, huh? We only thought you had one kid for a while there, soccer player. But anytime you mention your kids, it seems to be around sports, right? And I noticed it, I guess a couple others. Vince leans over and says to me, you know, for a guy that's got such athletically talented kid, Gary doesn't look like much of an athlete at all. And you know what? And everybody at the table goes like this. Yeah, yeah.
My 5 second responses. Ted knows that I am an athlete. I play basketball with him.
Okay, by the way, if an athlete ever has to tell you they're an athlete, we gotta tell you that, right? Okay, so that'll be $2, Gary.
He's a great soccer player. Don't get it wrong.
For marrying the right way. Obviously, your wife must be something else, I'll tell you that. But anyway, speaking of sports, we have, think of all the presidents that have come through this club. And there's a long list of them, right? You were just right at the table. Every president, Brian, you got that? Every president that's come through this club, one of them was on the swim team and had a lead part in the High School Musical, okay? I'm gonna give you a list to pick out of, okay? Daryl Moon, Pat Grunwald, Ted Gross, Bill Kelly, Steve Lamp, Tom Ghosh, Jim McCullough. Swim team, as well as High School Musical. How many of you think it's Daryl? Raise your hand. How many of you think it's Pat Grunwald? Okay. How many of you think it's Ted Gross? How many of you think it's Bill Kelly? How many of you think it's Stevie Lamp? How many of you think it's Tom Ghosh? How many of you think it's Jimmy McCullough? It was Tom. Tom Ghosh, yeah. Tom Ghosh. So that'll be $1 for you. That'll be $1. John, you never would have thought it, huh? Tommy Ghosh on the swim team.
And they were Speedos back then, baby. Speedos.
I tried to put the picture of Tom in his Speedo, but the internet froze. Thank God.
All you gotta do is see my Facebook page and scroll way down.
By the way, Tom, since you're on the spot here, you kind of made that. I guess you thought it was a joke about Steve Lamp being here. Yeah, well, I guess if you would sit here at this table, you would find out that Steve's a very sensitive man. And quote, over at Wes, quote,
I don't think people like me.
Why does Tom always say that about me? That's what Steve said. So that'll be another $1, Tom.
Can I go over and hug him now?
Yeah. But first, put on your Speedo. Okay, good. Well, whenever we need an honorary classic chair, we just call Harper College. Is that what the deal is there, Bill? But appreciate it. Thank you very much. We're looking forward to it. Brian Berg. Okay, listen. By the way, sometimes when things go on in the club, have to stay in the club. By the way, I'm about to make a very important announcement. It's going to blow your mind away, but I'll let you know when it's coming. This isn't it, okay? But this has to stay in the club. That Brian Berg of Berg Engineering uses 10-year-old computers, okay? All right, so let's just keep that here, okay? Wes has had, what, 35 computers in the last 10 years, Wes? Yeah, roughly.
That was actually my personal laptop.
Which makes it even sadder, okay? That's even worse.
How did he give up his abacus?
Yeah, the abacus. Yeah. I use Berg Engineering, boy. Rock solid. Anyway.
Ironically, I emptied the 20-year-old laptop bag.
So that'll be $1 for every computer you should have had in that span. So that's $3 that you need to pay for that. Make sure you pay because it's for the kids, guys. Speaking of alcohol, Linda, you know, happy birthday for the son, right? You're gonna go out and get him drunk, right? Then you come up here and talk about all the games you're gonna play here, drunk, bringing me your bottles and all that kind of stuff. Is this the kind of person we want on the international team? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Our next meeting's in Napa. Okay, we're ready. You guys ready for the big announcement? I feel a little bit like, you know, like saying it like, oh, thanks for telling us, Jeff, like we didn't know already. But today is National Hot Pastrami Sandwich Day, George. And so we're gonna have to, you know, for the hot pastrami sandwich, we're gonna play a look, Google it. Not you, Brian, we don't have time. Go there on AOL.com and look up. Brian's got let him rip out the old acoustic coupler, huh, Brian? Son of a fax. Okay. But it is National Hot Pastrami Day, and I'm excited, but there is some history to the pastrami sandwich, Glenn, and we're going to find out about it today. This is a multiple choice question about pastrami. It about in the mid-19th century, it popped over here in the United States of America, and it came over from you know, a lot of immigration going on at that time. So I'm going to give you 4 countries that the old pastrami sandwich could have came from. Okay, of course we know it's a bunch of smoked meat, usually beef, salted and herbed, and usually it was done back in the day to preserve the meat. Of course now it's pastrami and rye, right? Romania, Italy, Germany, or Czechoslovakia. This is where the old pastrami sandwich came from, the recipe. How many of you think it came from Romania? How many of you think it came from Italy? How many of you think it came from, by the way, it is Jewish, so I don't know, there's not a lot of Italian Jews, for those of you that raised your hand, but still. Germany, and then Czechoslovakia. It came from Romania. Yeah. Okay, so there was this New York butcher. His name was Sussman Volk. In 1887, he was in New York. He was a kosher butcher, okay? A friend of his from Romania had this recipe for making pastrami. He bartered for it, Tom. And here's the question. What did he barter for the free pastrami, you know, for the pastrami recipe, which then became, you know, iconic with New York and so forth. Free ice for a week, a date with his daughter, storing his luggage in the shop, and or a pair of lace-up boots. This is what was traded for to get the Romanian super recipe for pastrami here in the United States of America. How many of you thought it was free ice for a week? How many of you thought it was a date with his daughter? How many of you thought it was storing his luggage in the shop? How many of you thought it was a pair of lace-up boots? Those of you that thought it was for storing luggage in his shop, which was Wes, that is the answer. Yeah, 2 weird. Yeah, I tried to find something weird to go with it, Wes. You know, the art of the multiple choice. Yeah, but yeah, that's how it got to us, Tom. This is the last question. I haven't seen anybody give anybody money. Are you guys? It's going to be online. Is it going to be online? Okay. Lastly, how many of you are familiar with the name Joey Chestnut? Yeah. Big hot dog eating champion, right? Holds all kinds of records. I don't know if you know this, but Joey holds the record for eating 7. Now here's a sport maybe you'd be good at, Gary. Eating 76. I think we call it a sport. Wait, let me guess, Gary. You're into NASCAR, right? Okay. Usually people that aren't an athlete are in NASCAR. You watch football with your wife? Yeah. Any sport, anytime, anywhere. Okay, and I think you know that about me, Gary. All right. Hey, but listen, I like you a lot. Yeah. But Joey Chestnut, 76 hot dogs in 12 minutes. Guess who holds the record for the most pastrami sandwiches? This is a true fact. Go ahead, say it. Joey Chestnut owns the record for eating the most pastrami sandwiches in 10 minutes. 76 hot dogs in 12. That's his world record, still there. How many pastrami sandwiches in 10 minutes? 25, 35, 55, 75. 25, 35, 55, 75, 7-ounce pastrami sandwiches on rye in 12 minutes. What's the number? Okay, how many think it was 25 sandwiches? Okay, 35 sandwiches, 55 sandwiches, 75 pastrami sandwiches. The number is 35 sandwiches. So Joey did do 35 7-ounce pastrami sandwiches. Thank you very much, Tom, for everything. Get ready. Here comes Leah. All right, thanks, guys. Woo-hoo!
Well, Leah, we are all thinking of pastrami sandwiches right now. So Leah and I met, I think, at Engaging Speakers. She speaks on the topic of exercising, and she works with one of the, or am I stealing your?
No, go for it. I was just trying to figure out where to put my drink and
Probably
try
right here. I can
technology.
move this over. Yeah, no, and I also need to get rid of this and start this one and put this over here, and we're good. So, you know what? Forget it. Leah.
I don't know how to follow the pastrami sandwiches. This is gonna be rough, but I'll do my best. All right, thank you so much for having me today. I'm Leah Seidel, and I have a little bit of a confession to start off with. Growing up, I wished my name was Leah because I wanted to be a princess. And well, we can't always get what we want, huh? So we'll come back to that issue later. But right now, what I'm wondering is, and please be kind, I didn't know I was going to be speaking to this kind of group here. These two pictures behind me are taken 20 years apart. I'm the little girl in the picture, and then I'm the older girl in the picture, and the person next to me is my mother. So again, be kind. What do you notice about her body position? In both pictures, can you see anything?
She has her hands behind her back.
Exactly. She's hiding her hands. And she's hiding her hands because when I was 2 years old, my mom was diagnosed with severe rheumatoid arthritis. Now, it was the late 80s, and the doctors had never seen such a severe case of rheumatoid arthritis in someone so young. And she was in so much pain that the doctors ended up saying, if movement hurts, stay still, which is what we know now as like the worst thing that could possibly happen to an arthritic. So over the course of a bit of time, my mom became bedridden. Her muscles deteriorated, her joints froze, and her hands became deformed because of this disease. Now, again, I was 2 years old. My brother was 5. And my mom said, this is not how I'm living my life. She convinced my dad to take her to a local fitness and racket club, where she started working with a degreed and certified personal trainer in a pool. And without gravity weighing her down, she was able to float and move in the water. And she was able to regain her movement. That degreed and certified personal trainer was a game changer, not only for my mom, but for me. She gave me my mom back. So when I was awarded the Chick Evans Scholarship, I ended up going to the University of Illinois, and I became an exercise physiologist with my master's in kinesiology, a minor in gerontology, and became a certified personal trainer because I wanted to be a game changer. I wanted to improve qualities of life for older adults and younger adults with chronic conditions. Now, when the pandemic hit, I was working at a very well-known fitness facility that was associated with a hospital. I had my dream job. I was in charge of medical fitness. I saw people with Parkinson's disease, cancer, arthritis, diabetes, cardiac rehab, and I was improving their quality of life. And then guess what? We had to shut our doors. And as I followed up with my clients, all of them were depressed and weak and anxious and worried about how they were going to come out on the other end of this pandemic. When things opened up, what were they going to do? How were they going to be able to enjoy their life? And so
I ended up in the midst of the pandemic, opening my own business, Golden Oak Personal Training. And that's partially what I'm here to talk to you about today. But it's enough of my story. I want to get back to this Disney princess thing. So I have a question for you. Are you ready? And I can't wait to hear this table's response. Who is your favorite Disney princess? Oops, 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 oops. Anybody? 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 Who was it? I heard the best one over here. I think. Ariel. Absolutely. She's my favorite. How'd you know? But the thing about Disney princesses, you may or may not know, all of these princesses have something in common. When their movies came out, they were all teenage princesses, right? They were all teenagers. So it makes you wonder, where are they now? Dun, dun, dun. And I was actually able to catch up with some of them. So I wanted to share what they're doing. Now, you can see Princess Aurora. She's now in her late 70s. This is Sleeping Beauty for those of you who don't know princesses, right? And you can tell she's gotten her beauty sleep, right? She looks good for 73. However, she finds that when she wakes up from her naps, she's a little stiff and achy, you know, so she needs some movement in her life. Cinderella, she is now in her early 90s. And she's having some trouble getting up and down those stairs. I was able to convince her to lay up her glass slippers for some comfortable flats, but she really wasn't happy about it. And then we have the lovely Snow White. Now, Snow White's busy, you know, writing a book about her evil stepmother. And she still puts her nutrition first, but she told me she's over the apple thing. She's not eating apples anymore, which is really a shame because they have a lot of fiber, but you know, that's okay. In addition to being teenage princesses, you may be wondering what else they have in common. Well, they were all in their first half of life. Let me move this real quick so I can see the full slide. So in the first half of life, we think we're invincible, right? We don't stop to think how our actions affect us when we're older. And in the first half of life, in addition to that, our goal is to acquire. We're trying to acquire diplomas, degrees, certifications, a job, a spouse, a prince or princess, a house, a condo, a castle, a car, maybe a carriage, work titles, children. I mean, just look at Ariel. She had gadgets and gizmos aplenty, but still, she wanted more. And we get so wrapped up in this journey to acquire, we're taking care of everyone and everything else, that we often lose track of ourselves and we don't realize our actions or lack of actions add up and affect us later in life. And now we get to the second half of life, and whether we want to or not, we're editing. Our children leave the nest, we downsize our homes, we step away from that fancy job title, and we step into retirement. Now, can anybody tell me what the definition of retirement is? Where's Vince? Vince, tell me. What's the definition of retirement? Enjoying yourself. What else? No work, all play, right? All this time to do what we want. Well, once you're out of here, don't take out your phone yet, but once you're out of here, Google the definition of retirement. This is what you're going to find. It means to give up. It means to withdraw, and it means seclusion. What? Similar words mean seclusion, retreat, solitude, loneliness, and isolation. Come on. So it's no wonder some studies show how retirement shortens your lifespan. But like we just talked about, it doesn't make any sense. We have more time. We're supposed to be enjoying ourselves. So what's the issue? Here's something to think about. If you're retiring at 65, the US Social Security Administration predicts that if you make it to 65, your average life expectancy as a man is 83, as a woman it's 85. So by definition, we have 19 years of seclusion, isolation, and loneliness. Belle and I think that's a bit alarming, don't you? And here's some more facts. If you're over 65, there's currently about 49 million Americans that are over 65. 80% of those Americans are walking around with at least one chronic condition, meaning disease, arthritis, heart disease, that kind of thing. That's over 39 million people walking around with just one disease. And research has shown that exercise can decrease your risk of chronic conditions, and in some cases, even reverse the effects of them. I've had clients who were on high blood pressure medication for years and years and years. They started working with me within 6 months, they're off their medication. So pretty powerful stuff. Now, I have a pop quiz. What percentage of adults meet the minimum recommendations for aerobic and strength training? Do you think it's A, 14%, B, 24%, C, 34%, or D, 44%?
B.
Ooh, I hear some A's, I hear some B's. If you answered B, you are correct. 24% of adults meet the minimum requirements for aerobic and strength training. Now, why this matters? There's a cost to inactivity. The US healthcare spends $117 billion a year for physically inactive people. Physically inactive people also out of pocket spend about $1,500 a year more than their active counterparts. And if you think about that across a lifespan, if you stop exercising when you're 40, and the average lifespan right now is 78.3 years, that's all over $57,000 extra in your lifespan that you're going to give to healthcare. If you have a spouse, it's almost $115,000. Wouldn't you rather use that to travel, maybe buy a new computer, do something? I figured I'd smack you guys. But seriously, that's a lot of money to be giving to healthcare systems. Thank you. I tried. Good night, everybody. All right, and here's the fall facts. 1 in 4 adults over 65 each year is going to fall. Every 11 seconds, an older adult is treated in the emergency room for a fall. So that means every hour, 327 people are being treated. Every day, just about 8,000 people. And just for an example, in this 20-minute presentation, 109 people are going to be treated, older adults in the ER. It's expensive. We currently spend over $50 billion a year treating the effects of falls. And here's the thing, 10,000 people turn 65 every single day. By 2030, all of our baby boomers are going to be over 65. So that means 73 million people, or 20% of our nation, are going to be over 65 years old. And we're predicting 53 million falls a year and $101 billion a year on fall-related healthcare costs. We're anticipating by 2030, 7 fall-related deaths an hour. Now, is that all gloom and doom? I got news for you. It doesn't have to be. Falls don't happen because we hit this age and we become old. Falls happen because of physical weakness that leads to poor balance. And the good news is it's all preventable. Strength and balance can be trained. You can prevent falls, you can reduce your risk and manage chronic conditions and keep more money in your pocket. Now you're probably saying, why, how? Tell me how. I got you. First, you need to know the minimum exercise recommendations. And ACSM is our gold standard that sets these recommendations each year. 150 minutes of moderate activity is what we're shooting for each week. Strength training, we're looking for major muscle groups 2 to 3 times a week with 8 to 15 repetitions per muscle group. And for older adults over 65, you need to incorporate balance and flexibility training into your workouts. Now, you can choose to do this on your own, or you can work with us. Like I said, I opened a business in the midst of the pandemic. We offer personal training at a studio in Deerfield, virtual personal training classes and in-home sessions. And we also have a new online coaching program called the Living Lively Method. And I want to talk to you about the Living Lively Method for just a few minutes, because these are kind of the keys to staying, keeping your vitality as you get older. So the first step is to soothe your aches and pains. As you heard from my mom's story, pain is all consuming, right? So in this section, you'll learn how to soothe your aches and pains, reduce muscle and joint stiffness, and boost your energy. Now, has anyone ever heard of castor oil? Do you get a little negative reaction when I say castor oil, right? For those of you who don't know, it's a laxative. And I would never ask you to drink it, but here's a tip straight out of the Living Lively Method. If you put castor oil on a sore muscle or joint, let's say your knee hurts, put the castor oil on your knee, put old sweatpants over so you don't ruin your clothes, go to sleep. In the morning, I'm gonna wager, I'm not sure how much right now, but a lot, that your knee pain will be reduced, if not gone completely. The castor oil absorbs into your joints and into that muscle, and it helps increase circulation and brings you oxygen and the nutrients you need to alleviate the pain. So that's a little tip for you. All right, step 2 in the Living Lively method is to strengthen and stabilize your body to move with confidence. Too many times clients call me because they've fallen, and I hate to say it, but they can't get up, right? And so I have a fall-proof plan. It involves a fall risk assessment, a get up and down strategy, principles of posture and movement, and a balance boosting blueprint. We'll also talk about how to strengthen your body so we can stabilize and have that balance. We'll talk about chairs and standing strength movements, as well as dynamic balance movements. So now's your chance. Would everybody please stand up? And you can do this at home or in person. Oh, if you can't, you got trouble. And you all signed the waiver, right? Everybody here signed the waiver before you started and sat down? Yes, good. Okay, so stand behind your chair. Use your chair with just a light fingertip to help you if you need. What I want you to do is just stand up nice and tall and lift one foot slightly off the ground. It's not this huge kick thing. It's just a little lift, okay? And again, the chair's there if you need it. Now, if this is easy, the 3 things that control your balance are your eyes, fluid in your ears, and sensors on your skin that tell you where you are in relation to space, okay? So if this is easy and you don't need to hold onto the chair, go ahead and just turn your head to the right. And then turn it to the left. And then turn it to the right. Remember, you signed the waiver, okay? Now, if you are still standing, or if you want to try a level further just to see how these impact you, what I want you to do is close one eye. Foot still off the ground, eyes shut. You can let out a yar if you need to. Yarr. All right, now shut the other one. And you may notice a difference in the vision. And now try both eyes shut if you're not already there. Did I lose you? Yeah, okay. So that is static balance, changing your eyes to fluid in your ear by moving your head position and telling you where you are in relation to the skin. Now a dynamic balance. Let's go back to that single leg balance and let's just try the other side, because usually one side's stronger than the other. This time, what I want you to do is with that foot off the floor, just lift it out to the side. And again, it doesn't have to be this high kick thing, just a little out to the side and back in, out to the side and back in. Now, if you're still standing, add a little head turn to it. Yeah. Now, if you're still standing, head center, shut the eyes, keep the leg out to the side. Timber, thank you for participating. Grab a seat. So you can see, even wherever we are, even if we think we're physically fit, our balance probably needs something. So a great tip, if you're working out or lifting weights, stand on one foot and press your weights up overhead. Start incorporating some balance movements into your movement. Uh-oh, I lost you. You got dessert and ice cream. Okay, it's okay. I'll wrap up real quick. No. All right. So step 3 is to soar into the golden years of your life. So as you saw, we need to redefine retirement, right? Yeah. You need to think about what brings you joy, how you want to spend your time, and really write down those things. So we spend a lot of time in this section doing just that, identifying what you want your retirement to be like. We explore how you can connect and contribute to your community, which it sounds like all of you do that very well. We talk about continuing to gain momentum with your physical health. We'll reminisce about memorable moments, and we'll talk about how you can leave your legacy and tell your story. Now, we all need a coach, no matter where you're at, an expert in the field to hold you accountable, to show you the way, to keep you safe and injury-free, to reduce your aches and pains and your struggles, and to save you time, energy, and money with a proven plan and system. So when it comes to being over 50 and exercise, I hope that you'll let me be part of your world. I'm inviting you all to register for a Kickstart call with me if you're interested in getting more information. We'll discuss your goals moving forward, and we'll set up a plan to help you move better. Now, before I wrap up, I do have one more little test for you to try. It's a little bit out there, but you can do it seated down. So you can even eat your ice cream while you're seated, okay? And this is probably the most common issue. I should say it is the most common issue I see with my clients. Do you know what the biggest muscle in your body is? What? It's not your brain. It's not your heart. I like big. It's your butt. It's your glutes, right? Yeah, you got it. Thank you. Thanks for playing. I'm glad you like the song. So it's your glutes. Your glutes are the biggest muscle in your body. And what happens throughout the course of the day in your life, the signal from your brain to the left and right cheek sometimes turns off, sometimes turns on. And what you may find is the glutes don't fire evenly. And that's a huge cause of low back pain. That's a huge cause of having to shuffle when you're walking, not having your balance. So right now, I just want you to check in with yourself. I'm not coming around to, this is totally honor system, okay? Feet on the floor, sit up straight. I want you to squeeze just your left cheek. Tom's over there, left, right. Okay, now just think about how it feels. Is it contracting really strong? Is it weak? Does it not contract at all? And then relax. Try the right cheek. Are they the same or are they different? So whichever one feels weaker, spend 3 to 5 seconds squeezing that weaker cheek. Again, honor system here. And then relax and do that 4 or 5 times. What should start to happen is the signal from your brain will say, hey, it's okay to turn on that glute, and you'll start to balance out your body. I will tell you, it is much easier to do if you're laying flat on the ground or on a bed than if you're sitting in a chair. So if you're having trouble doing it, go home, squeeze left, squeeze right, determine which is firing weaker, then squeeze that weaker side a few more times. All right, on that note, any questions? Yeah.
What about like nutrition?
Nutrition is a big part of it. Absolutely.
Is your program part of that?
So I do have a nutrition component in my program. I am not a registered dietitian, so I like to stay within my scope. But I do partner with registered dietitians, and I do have recommendations for healthy supplements and that kind of thing, because there is different qualities of supplements throughout that, and protein shakes and that kind of thing. So yeah, great question. Anybody else? Yeah.
So you said you were an Evans scholar?
I am, yeah.
I mean, you're caddying somewhere, which country?
So when I was 13, I started caddying at Ravislow Country Club. I grew up in Homewood, Flossmoor, Illinois. Oh yeah, it's a great course.
Yes, one of your daughters is a golfer.
Fun fact, Ravislow did close down shortly after I got the Evans Scholarship, but it reopened as a public course. So fantastic course, over 100 years old, lots of history there. So if you haven't, you should check it out. Yes.
I have a question. A lot of, I know Rotarians too and friends, all of a sudden are getting like crazy leg cramps in the leg. Is that something that can be addressed?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Lots of water. Hydration is huge. And looking at your nutrition. Absolutely. But typically too, when you start moving, the cramps kind of subside. So yeah, anything else?
Jim, did you have a question?
Yeah, I just wondered regarding the glute exercises, if there's any benefits to helping your spouse with that exercise.
You know, there just might be something to that. I'll leave that up to your spouse.
It's the nice lady next to me.
Oh, all right, all right.
Anyone else? Let's give Leah a big round.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
She'll get it. So yeah, if you have any interest, she'll stick around a little bit afterwards, talk with her. I can't imagine what made me think that she'd be a great speaker for all of you guys, but luckily I thought that pretty quick, and she's getting the thing, and I gotta bring up the other thing. And hold on, we got a whole thing happening here. It's coming. We got stuff going this week. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll have to give it to you later. It's a very nice gift. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much. Okay, so next meeting we will, speaking of Eisenhower Junior High, I believe we're talking about mental health and also the Interact Club, I think is what the topic is for Eisenhower Junior High next week. And, you know, we're very, very hard in having it a happy week so that we can have some more happy dollars. I shouldn't have to pull happy dollars from you guys. You should be very, very happy. If we can all please rise. And if Lucky Wendy online can unmute, she can lead us in the 4-way tests.
First, is it the truth?
Is
Is
it
it
fair
fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And beneficial to all concerned?
And let's see. The impact and the value of this will be to the business. Go out there.
Bye, everyone. Have a good week. See you next week.
Favorite things to do.
Look forward to finding out more about it. Everything is really like Aurora.
Okay, everyone's gone. Sarah's gone. Okay, bye, online people. See you later, Sarah.
Just so you know, I don't want you to feel like I'm neglecting you.